Hello everyone, welcome to Summer Farm. I'm Heather and we are here with not a with one of those prepper hauls or whatever. This would actually be a very sad shopping trip if that's all I got. They're just there for some examples which I will get to. First, I wanted to explain how I save money with 4 different apps to be able to put back into my preps. And it actually, they all, in combination, they save me a lot of money. And it's one of the ways that I'm able to prep for my family because we are not rich by any means. I also want to say that eventually I'm hoping that this will look a lot different and I will do away with the apps because, again, my ultimate goal is to be able to produce enough food here for us. So almost everything on that table should be gone, and I probably will not be using the apps anymore. But unfortunately, I should have started this years and years ago. But we do what we can with the resources that we have. So until I'm able to grow everything and raise everything that my family needs, or at least the majority of it, this is what it is. So if you're like me, this is how we can save some more money to put it back into our preps or, our homestead or whatever we need to do. Our kids, even, I've used the saved money to buy cloth diapers before, so things like that, or Christmas presents, or all kinds of things. So let's get started. I'm going to start from my least favorite of saving all the way up to my favorite saving, and the least favorite is Checkout 51. Checkout 51 I'm probably going to do away with very soon, just because there is a very limited amount of different items that they have that you can save on. I do like that you can get it from any store. However, a lot of them feature Walmart and will say right on there, you have to buy it at Walmart. You also have to wait and save up $20, and then once you save up the $20 worth of the coupons, you can submit for a check. That's the only thing that they do. They don't do any, like Amazon or, any other ways. It's just a check, and they mail it to you, and that's after you get $20. So with very limited items, it takes forever to save up that much. That's why it is probably not going to be one of my apps very soon. In fact, I think I'm trying to save one last time to $20, and then I think I'm going to stop that. But it is something out there you can check. Maybe those limited items are stuff that you use for your family. The next one is Fetch. And Fetch I recently kind of started using. I do like that you can scan any receipt from basically any store that has to do with groceries. And I've actually even used this at Walmart, for example. Walmart has groceries, but we don't always go in there to purchase groceries. And so I have gone into Walmart not buying any food products and still scanned it on Fetch and got at least the 25 points, which is the least amount that they'll give you. They'll give you more points based on whatever featured items that you've purchased. So it does take a long time to save up points, and it's for a small amount of payout. So for example, 3,500 points will get you $3 on Amazon, and they do have other different like payouts on there, different gift cards into different places. I'm not sure what else is on there. I'm always an Amazon person because I can get things on Amazon that I can't in local stores around me. So that's just one for example, but they're all points wise about the same. 3,500 points will get you $3 towards whatever gift card that you choose. And there is no cash payout. It is only gift cards. The next one is Receipt Hog. And I like Receipt Hog because you can scan almost any receipt. I've gone, or at least my husband's gone and got like stuff for the car, and at Advanced Auto, I've scanned that almost everywhere. It won't take like I bought stamps at the post office. It won't do that. I'm sure the rules are on there somewhere. I just kind of always scan it and see if it goes through. If it doesn't, whatever. So usually I only get a payout on this usually about once a year because it does take a while to accumulate the points. And I do wait until I have the max, which is $40, because the way the point system goes, it's better if you hold out and wait until you get the max points rather than just do the little points, because it's a bigger payout if you just are patient and wait. So 6,500 points will get you $40 on Amazon. There also do PayPal, I believe, and some other ones, but again, I do Amazon. You can also earn more points if you take surveys on there, or if you do what they call hog slots, which is basically like their little virtual app slot machine, and you can pull it down and see if you get any more points. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. And my absolute number one go-to for saving a ton of money is Ibotta. To date, I've saved over $1,300 on different items that I can, pick through. Depending on what store I go through, I pull up the store and then I click on different items that we would use. Even if I don't plan on purchasing it soon, I still click on it because you never know when you're in the store. Or even if it looks like an item that I might be interested in, I will still click on it anyways. There's no penalty in clicking on it and not, buying it. So once you select your items for the store, you go to the store, buy your items, and then you either scan your receipt in your phone, so your phone has to have the camera on it, which most phones do nowadays, and then it'll take a few days, sometimes it varies, and then you'll get the rewards back on that. There's also ones that you link to your rewards card, and you'll get saving that way, so you don't have to scan in the receipt. And again, it takes a few days, and then you accumulate, I believe it's a minimum of $20 before you can do a payout. Again, I usually wait for the big amount. This point system, it's not points, it's actually money. It's like virtual coupons, basically. So it doesn't matter if you do a smaller payout or a bigger payout. I just like to use it to save for big purchases on Amazon. So I usually wait till I have the max is $100. Although you can save more on there. I've done like 150 at a time, or even 200, and done like $200 payouts, or $100 payout and a $50 payout. And I usually use it to save for, big things that I need here. So currently my goal is I really want to get a chicken plucker because it'll make life so much easier come time to butcher. It'll definitely be worthwhile, and it is something that I'm considering renting out to get money back on that purchase too. So I'm trying to at least save for half, because they are certainly not cheap, so that I can get that for our use. Currently, with everything going on in the world too, and with the kids, it's very convenient, the curbside pickup. So we will do Walmart curbside pickup, and I like this because you go right on there to the Walmart online purchase, and it'll link it to the Walmart pickup, and I can go right on Walmart's pickup and select my shopping items, and it'll tell me right on there. They just updated this, so it'll tell me right on there if it is something that I can save with Ibotta or not, and how much, or if there's like, sometimes I would go to the store and I'd be like, oh, whoops, I forgot I was supposed to buy 2. And so then I ended up missing out. So I actually save more with that. And also when I make my list, I always go to the Ibotta first and write down all the items that I'm in need of, or that would be, I'm getting low on, so that I can save on those items. Alright, so those are the 4 different ways that I save with the apps. I will leave a link to those apps below. And I just wanted to put this little disclaimer out here that I am sure Old Man B and his puppeteers, or at least their people, are tracking all of this. So just a word of caution with that. I know people are very cautious nowadays of how they buy things online and such. So I would just, just caution you on that. So also, as I said, we are, not rich at all. So a bonus way to save on your preps, and this is where the table comes in, is to think about, what you can do for yourself and, what you can make for yourself. For example, toilet paper. This is always a go-to thanks to the panic buying of the toilet paper. Now, do we have toilet paper stocked up here? Yes, we do. But we do not have a ton of toilet paper. It takes up a lot of room, and on top of it, if anything should really happen and we're out of toilet paper, it is something that is not really a big deal, because there are other things you can use for toilet paper. For example, just rewashing cloths and, or mullein leaves, things like that. So a toilet paper is not something that I'm going to focus on making sure I have, even a year's supply worth. That's just, it takes up too much room. So another thing is, for example, the canned chicken that I have here. I was buying a lot of that. However, again, through saving with Ibotta and these different apps, I combined everything, and I was able to buy an American pressure canner, and I soon will be canning my own chicken. So I will not need to stock up on chicken anymore, because I will be doing my own. Another thing is the crackers that you save. They're going to go stale and yucky. I mean, you can put them in Mylar bags and buckets with oxygen savers and things like that. But again, this is something that if we run out of, I can make myself. So now, with saying that, yes, I can make crackers myself. However, I need to make sure that I have the ingredients for it. So one of the main ingredients in crackers would be obviously flour. So I need to make sure that I have flour on hand, and that is something that I would put in buckets, Mylar bags, oxygen savers, the whole 9 yards there, to make sure that I save those. Another thing is pasta. I can make pasta, making sure basically that I have flour and water, maybe some eggs or whatever, depending on what kind of pasta you're making. So as long as I have those on hand, I can make pasta. I don't need to have tons and tons and tons of boxes of pasta on hand, because I can make it myself. Pasta is cheap, and it's a lot cheaper to buy it than to spend all that time making it. So that's why, for the most part, I buy it right now, because it saves on time. But I can always make it, and I do make it on occasion. Another one would be like the dried fruit. My daughter absolutely loves dried fruit. See, this bag's almost gone because she really likes it. Now I do have a dehydrator and can do my own dried fruit. However, we do not have an apricot tree. So apricots would be one of the dried fruits that I would want to make sure that, I had some of, because we do not have a tree, an apricot tree. However, we do have apple trees, so I can do my own dried apples, or do applesauce or whatever. So those would be ones that I wouldn't need to purchase. Another food item too would be like this condensed milk. By the way, Ibotta does have one right now, not this brand. You have to, I think it's the Eagle brand. They do have a coupon for. This is something that I could probably look up and figure out how to make myself, which would probably be a lot better than this canned stuff. However, I don't know how to make that right now, so I make sure that I have some of those on hand. But it is something that I have tucked away for my list to do of learning how to make that myself. A big item is spices. So I happen to have bay leaves out here. I do have a bay tree growing that we bring in the winter and take out in the summer. It is not quite mature enough to pull off and harvest my own bay leaves. So this is something that I have purchased for now. However, in the future I will not need to buy those because I have my own. Now, for example, cinnamon. Cinnamon I definitely need to have on hand, because even if we had a greenhouse or high tunnel or whatever, cinnamon would not be able to grow here. Way up in the north, I don't think so. Not even in a greenhouse or anything. I mean, maybe a really good farmer could do it in a greenhouse. I'm not sure. I doubt it. But that would be something that we would definitely need to have. So I would need to focus more on cinnamon and not so much, the bay leaves, thyme, basil, wherever you're from. That, I do my own, so I don't need to buy it. Another thing that I was told does not grow here, I haven't tried it myself yet. I don't think I probably will, since I've been told it doesn't grow here, is peanuts. So because the peanuts is not something that is grown here, it's not something that I can really grow, I want to make sure that I have peanut butter on hand. So again, that would be something that I need to focus on. However, I do have chestnut trees growing, so I could always make my own nut butter with them once they start producing. We just put those in last year, so they're not even close to being there yet. So that's the unfortunate thing with any kind of fruit trees, or nut trees. You're gonna, it's gonna be a while before you can harvest anything. So in the meantime, like I said, we do what we can with the resources we have. I'm gonna purchase this. This is something that goes on any of those apps for savings from time to time too. So I definitely stock up on that when I see it on there. Now, when we talk about preps too, it is not just food. It's other things too, like clothing, for example. I don't need to stock up on a ton of clothing because I know I could make it. In fact, it is definitely a goal of mine. However, what am I going to need to make clothing? Well, obviously fabric, needles, thread. I have a sewing machine, however, it's electric. So if, we don't have power, for whatever reason, then I'm going to need to do it by hand. I do not have an old-fashioned sewing machine, so, having the regular old-fashioned needles, not just extra sewing machine needles, but having those on hand, is something that I would need to do too. Also, any clothes that we do have, to make any kind of repairs for that. So having extra fabric and stuff on there. If you don't know how to sew, it is definitely a skill that you want to pick up and learn. And one last thing I was going to bring up is, having those little extra treats. We do drink a lot of water here. However, sometimes I'm gonna be the first to admit it. Water can be boring. We like these little things that we can add to our water. I do like this brand, and it is also actually currently on Ibotta for a virtual coupon. I do like adding this because it doesn't have any of that fake stuff in there. No chemicals, none of that fake stuff. Even in the kids one that they just came out with, there is actual real sugar in it, and not a lot, just a little bit. And it doesn't have any other junk in there. I mean, when you want something a little bit more tasteful, you will do one of these. You could also do, I love doing the cucumber and lemon water, but it's got to sit overnight, and I'm not always good about remembering to make one up. So, again, in a pinch, this is something that we can do. Let me just wrap up by saying, making sure that you do some, searching of, okay, what grows in my area, what can I do myself, what are things I can't do myself, and those are the things that you need to stock up on. If you can do it yourself, what are the ingredients or equipment that you need to have on hand to make those things. Even if you don't make them currently because of time, probably more or less because of time, at least you can do it, and you have the things to do it when the time comes that you're going to need to do it. So with that, happy prepping, and I will see you all next time. Goodbye.
Bye.